So hello everybody, welcome to another Snackables. Today we're going to be talking about collaboration. We'll jump straight in a short while, but quite quick precursor to that. Whether you're a collaboration super user, I see some of the people coming in today. We know some of you are super users on collaboration, maybe wanting to know a little bit from our resident expert, or you want to know a little bit more about collaboration and how you can embed that into your Qlik analytics. So a little bit about today. Snackables, it's a masterclass. We're here from my kitchen and Darmister's living room. Today we're actually cooking up some really some exciting recipes around collaboration. And the key thing about that is collaboration. The three parts to it: write-back table, input form, teamwork. We'll be delving into those, but we'll be looking how the sum of their parts together actually delivers analytical apps, and I think that's really, really key. That's what we want to take away. I'm really excited about today because of our speaker today, but we'll get onto that in a very short while. Housekeeping. We always get questions about this as we go through. This is a 15-minute session. We will take questions at the end. We'll record it, so we'll send it out. If you have a look at the bottom of your screen here, there's a Q&A. So if you don't use the chat, if you actually use Q&A, what we'll do, we'll answer that. We'll direct those at Darmister, or we'll answer those together. And I suppose at that point, Darmister, I'm going to hand it over to you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Darmister. A few of you may have seen me before. I'm the Senior Implementation Consultant here at Vizlib, and I've been working here for around 9 months. And prior to this, I worked for a company called Insurance at Allianz for 5 years, and I was working as a lead data analyst. Being a previous customer of Vizlib, I'm happy to share my experiences as I understand both the customer and the technical side of things.
Yeah, and that's why we're really excited, or I'm excited to be hosting you today. We actually decided. I mean, normally we start with a holding slide. We've got a couple of introductory slides. We're going not only no code, we're going no slides today because this really is a masterclass. And I think what's exciting from our side is, Darmister, you were that you worked in industry, being a Vizlib customer, and then came and joined us as that solutions expert. So that's exciting for me. Darmister, first one, because I know when we were planning and chatting about this over a cup of tea in the office, that first thing you said to me, when I said, Darmister, we're thinking about inviting you on, are you free? I mean, what are your personal opinions of collaboration before we just jump straight in?
Well, before I joined, I wasn't familiar with the product at all. I had been exposed to the library component whilst working at Allianz. I brought that to the business along with Qlik Sense. But Collaboration Bundle is a very interesting area. It's a powerful product, and we found that it's the way forward for many businesses because read-only reports are becoming old school, and moving with the time does mean real-time analytics. And collaboration has these capabilities. You can see from all our documentation, the benefits include things like eliminating spreadsheet risk, appending data on the fly, making comments directly inside the dashboard, and then sharing those comments very quickly, and sharing those insights through email, Microsoft Teams, and Slack. But without further ado, let me go on and I'll share my screen.
I think you touched on some of those use cases as well, so I'm pleased you've done that. But I think it's probably the bit that, and I know I was chatting to a couple of people earlier, the bit that everyone's excited about is the hands-on. So let's get to the practical masterclass.
Brilliant. So hopefully you can see my screen now, and I'm going to walk through this skills and management training app. Here we've combined Vizlib library as well as collaboration because we believe that they do complement each other very well. The sheet menu at the top provides that unified experience to your dashboards. It gives you the ability to create your branded look and feel, but also within native Qlik Sense, you can see all the sheets that are present within your dashboard. And here with the sheet menu, you can categorize, all your pages for ease of navigation, and you still have access to your native Qlik buttons, such as your data sheets, and also like your bookmark and your create story. So I'm going to move on to the next page. Before I go on, any early questions at this stage, Al?
I'm not seeing any, but that's a nice time, Darmister, just to stop and remind people I always say give Michael a hard time. Let's not give Darmister a hard time. It's a first session on. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's many questions you won't be able to field. So please feel free to use that chat button.
Brilliant. I'll just touch upon one of the most common questions that come in, and that is, what types of use cases do we deal with? Well, most users start off with storing comments inside QEDs, and as the app matures, they like to write to SQL database and expand on the functionality. Things like approval workflows are very popular, finance adjustments and budgeting forecasting. We've got manufacturing apps and, equipment safety checks, things like that. And then also patient and healthcare, appointment booking apps and checking if they already have booked into a ward, and simple things like flagging data quality issues as well and creating alerts, doing something about it on the spot. So I can go on with the use cases since I work with my customers regularly, but let's crack on with this app. So the purpose of this app is for the employees to be able to see the skills that have been added by others, but also be able to, add their own skills and training courses to the app. So we've got 4 elements that fit into the collaboration product. We've got the Writeback Table, which will allow us to plan, write, and edit our data. The teamwork will allow us to have conversations right here in the dashboard, and that's securely and seamlessly. The input form is similar to the Writeback Table, but it's typically used for one record at a time rather than multiple rows. And then the server component, well, this is essential to make the most out of the capabilities that sit amongst these 3 and also provide a lot more security to your apps. So the next page, just loading the Writeback Table here. And what we're going to do is actually add a brand new record into this table. But before I go in, let me explain that actually we're using the update operation. We're writing to a QED, and I started off with an Excel file, which had 4 columns of data and about 5 rows. Everything else has been built here using the Writeback Table. We have many different types of inputs, but I'm touching upon a few here. So we've got remaining capacity, which is a calculated field, and it's made up of the 2 previous fields, so one minus the other. We've got drop downs with icons, we've got toggle switches, commentary, sliders, numerical inputs. And what's also very useful is that we have this embedded input form. So it's looking at that one record at a time, as I mentioned. So very good for ease of navigation. It's a lot more easier to scroll downwards than across, especially when you have a very wide table. So I'm going to add a brand new row of data. And in this example, I'll select Andy. He's going to go in and he's going to carry out the Qlik Sense training course. He already has a skill level of 8, and the hours worked is going to be 10. And I'll scroll down. And he really enjoyed the course, so he can go in at different levels, different times to update this. Says it was an efficient tool. He's applied 77% to his workplace, to his project work, gives it a 5-star rating, and said, excellent. Right, and then we will save that. Scrolling to the bottom, you can see that the record is there at the bottom, but we need to click on that update button or the Writeback button, and it's really important to understand what's actually happening at this stage. So as part of the Writeback process, we export the data, we reload the app, and then we save the app. So that's what's just happened. And if I scroll along, you can see Andy is now part of the data model with all the values that we added. So next I'll show you this audit trail, and it's using the Vizlib table here, and you can see that the record has just been added there. So as part of that Writeback process, 2 additional fields have been created. So we've got created at and created by, which is very useful because on this page you can very quickly track and trace the changes made and by who. So just as we had a page for our trainees, it would be very beneficial to have a review form for the managers. So the stacked horizontal bar chart here shows the names of the employees who have upskilled in those various tools, and the training courses, carried out, they're colored by that, but then also the hours completed. So on the right-hand side, I have an input form, and we need to select an employee before we fill out the review, since some of the data is auto-populated. In this example, we'll select Adrian, only because he's carried out most number of courses there. The manager goes in and puts in a comment to say, keep going, gives him 5 stars. You'll notice very quickly that actually that writeback was a lot faster than the others, and I'll show you why. So you can control whether you want to do a partial, full reload or no reload at all, and even do a manual reload like this one. So once I click on that button, it carries out those 3 stages of that writeback process. So at this stage, it's reloading the app, and then it will save the app. And at the top there, you can see the record that we've just added. So I'm going to here show you associated fields, and that's using variables. The reason being is this is very powerful. In your data load editor, as long as you have a hierarchy set up, you can create something like this. So in your example, you may have something like site and then branch and then users, you know, and then you can use this auto population section. So if I was to select a design as a skill group and then go to skill, you can see actually the ones that fall under design are just AutoCAD and CSS. So it's just a useful feature to be aware of. So let me show you a different way that the input form can be used. So firstly, this one has multiple sheets, as you can see here, and it provides that compact look and feel. I must mention at this stage that with our latest release, that's 4.5.0, you can make even more compact look and feel to the input form to accommodate many inputs. And there is a high level of custom formatting available, from things like font size all the way to padding adjustments. And you can find that in our examples of the Getting Started with Writeback app. So in this example here, we'd like employees to select their personal details. So in this case, I'm going to select Julie. And very quickly, you can see actually this yellow text has been populated. And I'm trying to show you here the show and hide feature of the input form. So as Julie was selected, she has opted out of the email. And again, it's just asking, would she like to continue to opt out, which she says yes. Some of the fields have been pre-populated and the others are not compulsory. Next, we'll move on to the training center information. So here I'm using a geo map. And this is just a native Qlik Sense map. But the reason I incorporated it is because filling out a form like this can be, mundane, but I want to make it part of the decision-making process, so why not make it interactive for the users? So what Julie needs to do is actually select a postcode area that is suitable for her, where she would like to carry out the training course. And once she selects that, the map moves from area layer to the district, to sector, to postcode. And the darker areas are representing the higher number of training centers. And then finally, we go to the point layer. And this is sized by a dimensional filter. So at the moment, we have lunch voucher included, which Julie is really happy about, since some of the training courses include that. But maybe if a laptop is included, so you can see some training centers include a laptop and others don't. But the most important to her is whether the course has been accredited. Well, they've all been credited. She goes for this one since the lunch voucher is also included. So the details have been populated here. So again, I was just trying to show you that everything doesn't have to be manual. You can use visualizations within your to select outputs in your input form. Finally, she needs to go in and select her training loan ID. And you can see we've got conditional formatting in place here. So where the loan accepted is yes, it's already got manager's approval. She selects anti-fraud confirmation and then selects her application. So the power here is that we're combining 3 sources of data. We've got employee, training center information, postcode, and we can just keep building on this. But I'm going to show you the output of this and what we're left with. So again, I bring in the QD, which contains the review data and the audit trail. So here at the top, you can see the record that we've just been added. And again, all the details there have been populated and we can use it for further analysis. Finally, I'll move on to the teamwork component.
I'll tell you what, so by the way, Katie, thank you for your question. There's a question in from Katie, which we'll keep most of the questions to the end, but honestly, this might be one that is relevant for you to talk about now. Are there any data validation? Is there any data validation on the changes that are input by the user?
Yes, there are data validation, because what the useful thing is that when you use it with the VMC, you know, this is where all the security takes place, and you have a full audit trail within there, and you can, you know, track and trace within the VMC, as well as, you know, if you're writing to QBD, you have a track and trace element here. So you can, you know, you can check all the values that have been entered, and obviously you can go back into your writeback table and amend them as well. That's the beauty here, and even have a separate column for like a checkbox to see has it been approved or not. So lots of flexibility there with the writeback.
I thought you'd appreciate that question right then. Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you, Katie. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how teamwork works. So you can see I'm just starting a conversation here, and I'm going to attach an image. I'll go straight for the pie chart table there, and you can add priorities, add emojis, and let's add some context. Okay, so very quickly starting a conversation with myself here. Obviously you can start with whoever you wish, and when you see the image attached here, that means that I would have received an email, and here it is. And then the beauty of this is that not only do you see the image, it shows you the priority, exactly, you know, the message, so it gives you a full context of the conversation, but also any bookmarks or any filters that had been applied, they would then take you directly back to the app as well. So very useful there. Just trying to get back to my dashboard without this drop down. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to have to stop sharing. It's the only way. 1 second.
At least we know. So you've done that, and my wife's walked in and she's calling the cat. So at least we know it's live TV here.
Okay,
so,
here we go.
So there we go.
Back again.
It's not recorded.
No worries. So yeah, that was, and I also wanted to show you how you can share with Slack. So, okay, I've got a channel here, set up collaboration demo, and I can share that. And so again, very quickly within my Slack channel, under collaboration testing, there we go. There it is. Okay, so you can see the pie chart then, again, a link right back to the app. Here we go. And then, yeah, just cautious of time there, but you can write back to the server as well. And the only settings that you would need to change is when you come to your writeback table under writeback settings destination, you can see that we've got different writeback destinations. So you just need to select server there, and that would work in a very similar way. And some of the documentation out there will explain those different operations. So we've got the write, overwrite, insert, delete, and update. This is the one that we focused on at the moment because it gives you that cell level change as well. And then finally, I will just quickly leave you with this screen. So you can see that actually we have a number of server writeback integrations. And I think actually we've got an updated version of this as well. So yeah, you know, hopefully you found that useful, but yeah, any other questions come in? Al, you're on mute.
Thank you, Darmister. Yeah, let's lose your screen share. Let's jump straight into full screen, and we've got quite a few come in. So I've got one from Bidu, which I think isn't relevant on for this one. It's around creating diagonal references, a line in a scatter plot. We can do it in X axis or Y axis. So I think that's relevant to different products. So what we'll do, and that's fine, keep on any questions. If we don't want, if we're not going to answer them here or we run out of time, we'll either bring Darmister back or if it's less relevant to this BD, what we'll do is we'll answer you directly. So we'll take a scrape of that and we'll get back to you. Nice one from Katie. You will enjoy this one, Mr. Kate, we should have to send to Katie some socks. Can this be used with Qlik Sense without moving to Qlik Cloud?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can move. This is within Qlik Sense. I'm not using cloud at all in this example, but yeah, the option is available to use in both, and we have almost full functionality as you have in Qlik Sense. And
I think that goes across all of our products there as well. So great question, Katie. But key for what we do is, as much as possible, depending on architectures, etc. We're agnostic, so we support our customers across both. Tom asks, what about subnet masks so that people are forced to enter? So that kind of condition, the validated data entry, I think it would be called. So a phone number is XXX or YYY hyphen. So in certain, do you do validated data entry?
Yes, we can. So, we've even got things like editable if, we've got, conditional formatting. So you can do those checks straight away within your writeback table. So if somebody was to, like you say, enter XXX, and then we could put a condition on that column or that cell value to say, actually, it needs to have four X's instead of 3 or whatever. Yeah.
So Tom, the answer is absolutely. We can do that, which is what we like to say to most of our questions. Mohammed asks, reload for writeback. I think this is going to touch on a word that we probably don't want to use, but reload for writeback. Does it reload the entire app, or does it just and is it quick? That probably leads on to lots of users, lots of concurrent users. That's probably the same kind of question that we're getting from Mohammed and someone else. Do you want to answer that one? Kind of,
yeah, sure.
Speed, reload. What we.
Yeah, so like I said, you've got full control of that. You can reload the full app. You could do partial reload, no reload, manual reload, and it just depends on how your script is manipulated there. But remember, when we're talking about multiple users writing back at the same time, serverless, you have no concurrency method at all for that reload. It will show a failure. So we do encourage using the Vizlib server with collaboration. And we have many features incorporated in the VMC, things like queuing, auto lock, manual lock, but our most latest and advanced feature is loop and reduce tasks.
Yeah, which is super cool. Michael and I have touched. I think we did an entire webinar where we spent a lot of time talking about that. You can find that on our YouTube channel. We're going over, so I mean it's 22 minutes past, but we're getting loads of questions. So there we go. We'll continue to keep on answering them. Susanna, can you use Writeback with Salesforce?
Salesforce, it's not on this list, but oh yes, it is. Here it is. Yeah. Sorry, it's because I thought I was showing my screen, but yes, you can. So yeah, Vizlib server writeback integration with Salesforce is available.
Yeah, absolutely. I was scratching my head when you said that one because I was about to say yes to her. Sergi says, can you please share the app?
Yes, we can. Yeah. So I'm just waiting to make a production version, hopefully available early next week. And then that will be up to marketing to post it into the correct area for you all to see.
So what we'll do, we'll talk to the team, the back-end team, and what we'll do, we'll get a recording out in the next couple of days, and then next week we'll actually get a second mail out, if that's all right, with the app. Tom says, is the navigation tab at the top something that Vizlib sells also?
Yes, it's called the library component. So this is collaboration I've demoed, but that's called the sheet menu, and it's part of the library component, which Vizlib offer. Yeah.
David asks, can you color format writeback rows based on the fields in the data model, which may not have been included in the writeback table itself? Now that's making me scratch my head. Do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, please. Yeah, sorry.
Can you color format writeback rows based on fields in the data model, which may not be included in the writeback table itself?
I'm just wondering if it's not included in the writeback table, then how would you need to be able to see it, right? Unless, I mean, you could hide it, I guess, but that feature is available, color coding. So yeah, I would refer to the Getting Started with Writeback app, and we have some example pages in there.
And what we'll do, I'll sit with you, Mr. We'll take that one offline as well, because we can operate in a couple of different ways. Dynamic variables in the VMC security rule for users to access the extensions. Can we do this?
I think it is possible. I think I'll just have to check with some of the senior product owners, but I think that's possible.
Yeah. Patrick asks, again, this is multiple users using writeback data at the same time in an automated manner. So is there a way to prevent multiple users using the writeback table at the same time and in an automated manner?
Yes, that's where we'll refer to the VMC again. And, as I mentioned, the Q mode, and then you've got the auto lock and allow manual locking. They all work slightly differently, but then this will allow just, awareness for the users that a writeback is taking place. And therefore, they could see like whether they're number one, number two, if it was a Q mode, for example. But we've got full documentation on that. I'm happy to share that with you guys after the call.
Do you want to do rapid fire? We'll go rapid fire now just to get through these. Otherwise, we might have to bring you back. But that will be fun. I've enjoyed doing this. So David asked, how many rows can a writeback table show at once? Is there slowdowns in using any more?
Yes, so I don't think there's a limit, but obviously best practice. And if it's reloading thousands and thousands of rows, do you really need to see them all within the writeback table? So things to consider there.
Yeah. Katie, who's definitely going to get some socks. I have Vizlib tools in Qlik Sense, and do we need to invest in another tool? Kind of depends on the extension you have, Katie. Get in contact with us or your account manager. It is an extension. There are different licensing for obviously for the different applications, but I mean, yes, depends on what you have. We can help answer that with you, and we'll divert that off to the customer success team. Let's have a quick look. Oh, okay. Tanweer asks, can we write back to Snowflake? I didn't see it on the screen, so that's a no at the moment, I think. Or does that?
I know we're working on it with a Strato, so
yeah,
we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But not in this. So again, so Darren asked, and I knew we'd have a lot about this. Can we handle multiple users concurrent updates that concurrently update with writeback? So we've answered that one. But Darren, good to see your question. David Webster says, "Cheers, guys." And I think on that note, I mean, we have gone over time. I think this is the longest we've ever run a snackable, but it just means that you've whet everyone's appetite. So anything we haven't answered, or if we want to, we'll probably just ping you longer answers if we've not fully answered your questions. But good to see everyone here. Mr. It's an absolute pleasure having you on today. I think we need to get you back. And I always finish with this. The people that were the most important attendees were you. So lovely to see all of you guys, and we trust that you have a lovely day, whatever you're doing for the rest of today.
Brilliant. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks, Al.